podcast where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruel Tea Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris, for it is a Merris Monday.
Hello.
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 How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. It's sort of just a nothing day, so
It was kind of a nothing day. We went through a terrible heat wave, which made me horribly ill.
Yeah.
And I came out of that, so we're fine, and everything's fine. Mm-hmm. And the air conditioning works again, because like when it's that hot, you can't even, the air conditioner doesn't even work.
There's just fuck all you can do.
Except sweat and lay there and be miserable. Yeah. But yeah, so we're on to a new month. That means a new theme for the main podcast, which is medical murders.
Ugh.
Yeah, not scary. I mean, it's very scary and not fun.
Yeah.
But as for Merris Monday, we follow no theme.
Yeah, this is just, you do what you want.
I do what I want. I was going to cover the dude behind the submersible, the Titan.
Yeah.
But then I just thought, I'm tired of these submersible people, and I don't want to talk about it.
And Behind the Bastards, they did a 2-part, and they really covered the shit out of it.
I don't think I could cover it any better than that.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I may, I'm going to be honest, Robert from Behind the Bastards, you could condense. Uh-huh. It was a little long-winded.
I listened to it. It's fun.
I'm not saying it's bad. Just sometimes I think you like the smell of your own farts, and maybe you should calm down.
He does. But it's like...
But it's entertaining. It's good. It's like a good podcast.
Yeah. I have no patience for something that sucks.
No, and listen, I recommend it all the time.
Yeah.
But today, we're going to talk about something else.
What is it?
Are you scared?
I mean, sometimes, we've covered scary stuff.
That's true. So what do... nonsensical engravings, the state of Georgia, and big old rocks have to do with each other?
Oh, it's the Guidestones.
It's the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all. Maybe it's like the late stage capitalism, or how everyone lost their minds over some people dying of hubris in the ocean, or what, but I'm in the mood for some end of the world shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about today, the Georgia Guidestones.
It's guided nobody, I'm going to be honest.
It has guided no one. These are dumb rocks. Okay, so what are they? The better question might be, what were they? Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones were a large granite monument consisting of pillars or tablets with some sayings and stuff inscribed on them. They were located on a 5-acre plot of land in Elberton County, Georgia, and in July of 2022, someone blew them the fuck up.
Good. I know a little bit behind them, but...
Yeah, but I'm getting ahead of ourselves. We'll get there. Conspiracy theorists who love lizard people guzzling baby blood and adrenochrome love these rocks.
Do you think that, a Bloody Mary, but with adrenochrome, I don't drink, but, maybe I drink that.
Don't drink that. That sounds gross. Anything that comes out of a human body is going to taste like it came out of a human body, and I'm not really about it.
Well, the British people eat, kidney pie or whatever. I don't know.
Y'all, here we go again. I'll say it once more. You colonized the world for spices, and then you didn't use them, and you're eating the throwaway parts. Shame.
I have been there once. It was a long time ago land.
Yeah, when you were young.
And their food was... I'll eat garbage because I am a possum.
I've seen eat out of the trash.
I did not like their food.
It's a little bland.
And Scotland was my favorite part of the trip, but their food was worse somehow.
Whoa, really?
I
just said, yeah.
It was weird and gross, and I'm not talking about haggis. I'm talking about just a pizza, and I wanted a pizza, a normal pizza, and they deep fried it.
What the fuck?
That was
weird. I mean, that sounds cool,
It was wet.
Oh, my pizza cannot be wet.
So...
Gooey.
I'm not picky.
Wait a minute. What's the difference between wet?
Nobody in that island can cook.
I mean, to be fair, let's be fair. So there's some American food that's just fucked up.
Yes, for sure. I'm not saying I'm better than them or nothing.
No, we suck. Yeah.
I'm just saying I got kind of skinnier when I was there.
You couldn't handle it. Didn't there one time you were telling me a story, you just wanted some fucking pancakes and couldn't find any?
Yes, this was probably the worst story about being in England. So I was there in 2004 taking a college course of art history.
Oh, fuck
Because my
you.
grandpa paid for it and it was awesome. And I'm sorry, I'm stupid. I forgot what I was saying.
Pancakes.
Yeah, I was looking for pancakes and I couldn't find any. Like nowhere in the entire city. They were like, "Do you want curry?" And I was like, "Fucking no, I just want some pancakes."
Curry is not a comparable substitution for pancakes.
They had a curry every two steps.
I do love curry.
Yeah. So anyway, that's London. Let's go back to rocks.
We're going back to rocks. So yeah, what are they all about? Well, we'll get into that. It's kind of, I mean, the reason I'm covering this is I just like end of the world shit, and there's a lot of end of the world conspiracies about these. My favorite thing about the Georgia Guidestones wasn't their place in conspiracy theory culture, but that they were touted as being able to survive the end of the world.
They're a broke Stonehenge.
Well, clearly not, if someone could just explode them.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were constructed in 1979 in June by a granite finishing company commissioned by a man who used the fake name of Robert C. Christian on behalf of what he called a small group of loyal Americans, whatever the fuck that means. But we all know what that usually means. It just sounds like some white people BS to me. These guidestones would serve as a compass, calendar, and clock, and were meant to be able to survive like any kind of Holocaust, end of the world, nuclear bullshit. Joke's on them. Didn't survive shit. The guidestones were made out of 4 slabs of granite weighing over 240,000 pounds. Each one had a set of rules carved into them slabs. These rules were supposed to help us all live more peaceful, happy lives, but they have sort of a sinister edge. The stones said that the way to the best sort of society was racial and genetic purity, so eugenics, see?
Ew.
Racist white people shit.
Ew.
A one world government, and a mass global depopulation. Sounds fun.
Okay, one world government. Question, is it that bad?
We'll get into that in a second because I kind of go off on that a bit. Like,
maybe
who fucking cares?
Maybe I'm an Illuminati.
Oh my god.
I'm
Illuminati.
I'm one Illuminati right here.
Wink. I'm flirting. I have to tell him literally I am flirting or he doesn't get it.
I know, I'm stupid.
You're not stupid. A little bit. Why do conspiracy people fear a one world government so much anyway? Because literally, who cares? We're all plebs and wage slaves, so like, who cares who the boss is? The boss is going to suck regardless.
Yeah, I'm here for the overlords. I'm just ready for it.
Let's just get Skeletor. Can I vote for Skeletor?
He would do a good job, I think.
He'd just be like, I want to be evil.
Yeah, he had a functional tower. Or I'm not sure if that's what he had, but
no, I forget what the name of his
Skull Rock, isn't it?
It was Skull Rock. Yes, it was. And He-Man had the Tower of Grayskull, the Castle Grayskull. Yeah, the Castle of Grayskull.
The whole scenery always looked like shit, so I don't know if it was any good over there.
I don't think they were just erotically beating the shit out of each other every 5 minutes.
He had very tiny little underpants, He-Man.
You know what? So did Skeletor.
Oh, that's true.
They were both in tiny little underpants.
Right.
And Skeletor was blue and had a skull face. Do you know there are comics that give his backstory where Skeletor had a man face?
Yeah, I've seen him. He's handsome.
Kind of hot.
Yeah.
I'd fuck the shit out of Skeletor.
Stop it.
I'd let him give me the bone. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Get on with your rocks.
Oh, I'll get my rocks off if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so these racist-ass, eugenics-supporting idiot rocks were supposed to put Stonehenge to shame.
Right, back to my London story. Their food's bad. Anyway.
But I don't recall that henge being racist or calling for the mass extermination of most of the world's population. So in my book, Stonehenge is the best collection of rocks.
Yeah. I saw it when I was there. It was cool.
They
are very big.
They are big. Oh, and no one blew those up, so it sucks to be you, Georgia Guidestones. Robert C. Christian had just gotten back from Europe and was really impressed with the hinge, which, British listeners, please help me. What the fuck's a hinge?
It's a circle.
Is that all a hinge is? Why not say a stone circle?
Well, have you seen how they name their towns?
I can't pronounce a lot of that. Y'all make it hard.
Ballycock and stuff like that.
Ballycock?
It's a town I made up in London, or England, whatever. UK.
Oh, no. We have a lot of listeners in the UK, and now they've all angrily turned us off.
I did piss them all off.
It's okay. You can send hate mail to me.
Yes.
And I'll just delete them without really reading them, so there's that.
Yeah.
If you want to waste your time, it's fine. But he was like, I liked the Stonehenge and all, but it didn't really have a message.
I think it's a clock thingy or something.
It's a fucking, it measures the solstices and equinoxes and shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, Robert C. Christian was a Christian, which is, no surprise there. And I'm sorry, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
And he could have put the 10 Commandments on there because he thought that Stonehenge was missing a message. But in his eyes, the 10 Commandments were for an individual person and not society at large. He was going to go big or go home, and I kind of just wish a motherfucker would have gone home.
I agree.
He wanted each stone to be 16 feet tall, and they were to be arranged in the shape of a cross. And I'm rolling my eyes very hard. Bad radio. He said that he and his small group of loyal Americans had been planning a grand monument to their stupid ideas for nearly 20 years. I'm sorry, it's just annoying.
If he had focused that energy on literally anything else,
helping the poor, furthering his own education, volunteering his time, making a little garden,
Meals on Wheels or something.
So it's just quite the dedication to something so asinine.
Right, and it's a waste of money. These stupid rocks.
Oh, we'll get to how much money this shit cost in just a minute.
And then you have to maintain the area.
No, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. So, also his rules were for a perfect society, needed to be written in the 8 most spoken languages in the world, which is mighty woke of him, honestly. He wanted 4 ancient and no longer widely spoken languages on there too, like ancient Egyptian and Sanskrit. He knew and he threw Babylonian in there too, which, okay, hold on. So he's a Christian, and y'all are familiar, and if you're not, I'll explain it. This Tower of Babel story and the fucking Bible.
I'm familiar with this fucking tower.
I'm going to build a fucking tower up to the Lord, up to heaven. And God was like, now you all speak different languages, and you're confused.
I am, God. That's true.
I was already confused. I didn't need any help. But, if that was bad, and Babylon was considered bad, it's in Revelation, too, like the Great Whore of Babylon and all that stuff, because they were naughty in God's sight. Why would you put Babylonian on? No one speaketh this, Robert.
That's a real stick up his butt.
Stupid. He just thought he was so smart. It just seems a bit on the nose, Bobbert. I'm going to start calling him Bobbert for the rest of this episode. It's not even his real name, so. I got his real name. Oh, yeah, I've uncovered the mystery.
Oh, my God.
Not personally, other people did, and I'm just talking about it. The stones would also need to line up with celestial events like the movement of the moon over the period of a year, and this just sounds expensive. The stones would also align with the winter and summer solstices, the fall and spring equinox, and the North Star, and God, that sounds like math. To think all this effort went into making this nonsense and someone exploded it, it pleases me, it does. So John Findlay was the man who owned the granite finishing company, but he'd never taken on so large a project. At first, he was pretty sure Robert was nuts and didn't want anything to do with it or him. But the bit where the stones needed to be constructed to withstand the apocalypse kind of tickled his pickle.
Maybe make them out of lead or something if you're going to go all in.
Yeah, but really what got his interest was money. So to make Robert go away, he quoted him a ridiculous price, 10 times more than his usual jobs. He usually did fucking countertops and shit.
Yeah.
And it was a crazy price. It would be more money than he'd ever made on a job before, and he fully expected Bobbert to fuck off. Robert did not. And the rest is history. It took until March of 1980 to complete the job and had cost a little over $100,000. And in today's money, that's $400,000 because inflation is stupid and I hate it. Robert had purchased the 5 acres in Alberton County from a local farmer, and the grand monument was unveiled by Georgia's senator at the time, Doug Bernard, to a crowd of over 200 people. John, the maker of the stones, kind of thought, this is going to draw crowds and be a tourist attraction. And it did for over 40 years. At the unveiling, words from the loyal Americans were read, and I quote, "In order to avoid debate, we, the sponsors of the Georgia Guidestones, have a simple message for human beings, now and for the future. We believe our precepts are sound, and they must stand on their own merits." Okay, so you're just saying you're a pussy and you don't want to debate this? And time will tell that we're right.
Okay.
Well, you were wrong. Your shit got exploded and the earth has a lot of people and we don't do eugenics because it's stupid. Right away, even during construction, people did not really care for these big-ass rocks. Local clergy said it would promote occult activity in the area. It did not.
I bet it did. People in weird... No?
No.
I know they talked about it on the Coast to Coast.
All the fucking time. Look, and it's in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. No one cares. But that is what they thought would happen. And ever since their construction, people have made up wild theories about them. One conspiracy is that they're the 10 Commandments of the Antichrist. And it just...
I mean, kind of. They're about eugenics, and that's bad.
It's
and the
shitty.
Antichrist is bad.
But, like, here's the thing. Wouldn't you think the Antichrist would be like, you know what? Fuck the rules. That's what I would do if I were the Antichrist. I'm already there. Fuck the rules. Maybe I'm confusing it with anarchist and Antichrist.
Right. Those are two different anti-things.
Different anti-things. Okay.
Not Antifa either.
No. Shut up. Everyone, like... No. Okay. My brain just made the windows shut down.
Yeah.
Some say they were made by a Luciferian, i.e. devil-worshipping secret society.
I mean, that dude is bad, right?
We'll get to that. And they should let me in for all the promotion I do on Spicy Daddy's behalf. Mm-hmm. Others who agree with, like, think that it was like a Rosicrucian thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like
but
the Masons and all that stuff.
Well, I mean, there was Thomas Paine's Age of Reason, kind of similar writing that was on the Guidestones. Mm-hmm. But, like, and I'm not getting into what the Rosicrucians are right now because, God.
That's another bunch of
of bullshit. I'll cover them because it's fun, but it's annoying, and it'd make the episode like 4 hours long. Another conspiracy is that these are not how-tos these are not like today's how-tos, but for rebuilding after like a nuclear war or cataclysm. Okay. Sure. That doesn't sound like people are making up whatever nonsense they can think of at all. And so you guys want to know what the rules are? These new 10 commandments?
There's 10 of them?
There's 10.
Okay.
Because of course there fucking are.
I don't know. I didn't know how many there were.
Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language.
Okay.
Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Whatever that means. Mm-hmm. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts.
We're not doing that at all.
No. Like the meme that's going around, I've seen Crunchwraps more supreme than this court. Yeah.
Right.
Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. What does that mean?
Is that the one world government?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Well,
I'm not
doing
do
that either.
No.
If y'all hear explosions, it's because it's almost the 4th and I live in Yeehaw land.
Right. They have it all week.
They're just blowing, they're fucking attacking the sky.
It does sound like there's World War II out there.
Very scary. Balance personal rights with social duties. Suck my ass. How about that? Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Eat dicks. What does that mean, you hippie bastard? You're not even a hippie. Why? Shut up. It's just like he threw that one in there because he needed 10.
Yeah, you should have been like, take one day of rest or something. That would have been more random.
And here's the last one. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. We're not doing that.
No, we have not been doing that.
Let's just mow down the forest. You know what? We should build cars that run on endangered animals.
Oh, we already do that.
Just chuck a whole koala in there.
I mean, that's what gas is.
Koalas aren't even endangered. What the fuck am I talking about?
I have no idea.
Rhino. Throw rhino in there. Okay. On the surface, these sound fine, except number 1 and number 2 and number 8, and all of them are bad. So why? Because you can't guide reproduction without it being eugenics. No one should get to decide who is born. What if disabled people aren't good enough for these rules? We like throw them in a well? Or brown people, or people with certain mental disabilities. You see my point. It's gross. Mm-hmm. Racist, ableist, and just not cool at all. And the whole idea we need to control the population, I mean, I kind of agree, but no, you can't.
Yeah.
But what are we supposed to do if we go over it? Just start killing folks? They won't even let women control their own bodies, and religion around the world keeps women having more and more babies. So what on earth are we to do? It's silly and hypocritical at best. It would take out 94% of the Earth's population, by the way, if these asinine rocks had their way.
Yeah.
And the rest of the rules are nonsense and stupid.
Right.
Who cares if there's a one world government? It literally won't matter to the little people. And news, we're all little people here. I don't want a rule like that dictates like also my personal rights decided by like what, a couple dudes who made this stupid monument. I'm gonna guarantee being gay and trans is right out.
Oh hell, the sacred rocks.
Blow them up. Robert,
who blew them up? Do we know?
No, and the whole one like language thing is also very stupid.
Right, but
just make it Spanish or something and Chinese.
Well, we tried that, didn't we?
Esperanto.
That's
no one learned that shit.
No.
Nobody gave a fuck. Although I tried to learn it. I actually think it's pretty cool. But anyway, Robert C. Christian wrote a book that he sent to Congress that expounded on his weird and arguably dumb ideas. It was called Common Sense Renewed, which he sent to every U.S. congressman, which doesn't sound nutty at all. Robert promoted eugenics in his book straight up. Poors shouldn't breed. People should be punished for having more than one child. People with genetic conditions shouldn't breed. Awesome. Not creepy or gross or Nazi-ish at all. Robert, my dude, that is pretty much a war crime.
Yeah, very bad.
After only a year of its unveiling, Robert transferred his ownership of the 5 acres the stones stood on to the county they were built on for reasons. I guess he just didn't want to pay taxes and stuff.
I was about to say, I bet
because it would reveal his identity.
Because that's always the thing. They're always trying to hide their stupid taxes, these dumbass rich
Only
people.
one person involved with the stones knew the identity of Robert C. Christian, and that was the bank manager who set up the account that John Findlay, the guy who owned the granite company, would get paid out of.
Okay.
Only he knew. These rocks have tenuous connections to former Nazis in the Bilderberg group.
Ugh.
And I won't get into that because it would make the episode 4,000 years long, but I may cover that group one of these days. Basically, it was kind of like a secret club that formed to prevent another world war. And they went off the rails with shit like eugenics and controlling the world population by any means necessary. Yikes, daddy, chill. So who blew up these dumb rocks and why? And who was Robert C. Christian? Well, first, let's talk about Robert. The bank manager, Martin, exchanged letters with Robert for over 20 years. Martin passed away in 2021, but not before leaving behind a string of clues as to the identity of Robert C. Christian. Martin said that Robert died sometime after the year 2000, had a daughter, had been in basic training in the Army before going to World War II. Martin said that Robert had been from the Midwest and he had spent some time as a construction worker. In 2005, a documentary crew who was making a film on the Guidestones, which I didn't watch because it sounded stupid, interviewed Martin and convinced him to show them the letters he'd gotten from Robert over the years. So Martin clearly didn't want to, and he had just had a stroke, so they bullied this sick old man into showing him the letters. And with his little trembly hands, he tried to cover up the postmark.
Yeah.
But the cameraman zoomed in and happened to get the address.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, it didn't have Robert's name, but that doesn't matter because when this documentary was released, people on the internet did what they do and became armchair detectives.
Right, right. So is it solved by a podcaster?
I don't know. I just Googled around until I had the answer. But yeah, people armchair detectived that shit real hard. The real name of Robert C. Christian was Dr. Herbert Kirsten. And of course, Kirsten is a German form of Christian. Oh, and he's German. Oh dear.
Oh no, it's getting scary.
He was a surgeon in Dodge, Iowa. He died in 2005. He had 4 kids, including 1 daughter. But the rules, Bobbert!
He doesn't follow his own rules.
You popping out more kids than me, and I popped out a whole bunch.
Wow.
Damn. Fuck you, guy.
Yeah.
It's very funny. While we can't know with 100% certainty that Robert was Herbert, we have a pretty good idea. Herbert fought in World War II, had a daughter, was a construction worker, and he lived in the Midwest. In addition, he was a conservationist and really on about world population stuff.
Wow.
Sounds like a good fit to me. I know I mentioned that this all stank of racist white people shit, and you may say, Lillian, you're too woke. And to you, I say thee nay.
Stay asleep, sheep, man.
Oh my God, shut up, Merris. Herbert was an avid supporter of David Duke.
Ew.
You know, the former Grand Wizard of the KKK. Okay, can we stop for just a second?
The Ku Klux Karens.
Oh, no. Why do they call themselves wizards?
They have to ponder their orbs.
They are pondering their orbs. Can they ponder why they're such pieces of shit and go jump in a well?
I wish they would do that.
Can they ponder just not?
Yeah.
Could they ponder touching grass? But really, I want to know. I'm going to have to research this, aren't I? But I want to know whether, like, I'm a Grand Dragon Wizard Master.
They play in D&D.
I'm like, okay, nerd. I'm going to push you in a locker. Are you going to put some little elf ears on? Actually, that's what I want to do.
Oh.
Not be racist, but I want to be an elf.
No.
I want to be a big, slutty elf princess with big titties.
Yeah.
I'm most of the way there.
Live the dream.
I am living the dream. He was so Herbert was a fucking racist, and his stupid rocks were racist too.
Big, dumb, racist rocks.
So who blew up the rocks?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, CCTV, and that could have fit in with last month's theme, captured someone running up to the stones.
Mm-hmm. Well,
A couple seconds go by, and then that person runs the fuck away even faster, and there's a huge explosion. And this only destroyed one of the stones, and that was the Sanskrit tablet.
Okay.
Then a car is captured driving away.
Yeah.
Literally within just a few hours, heavy equipment arrived and cleaned up the mess, even though it should have been a crime scene, and cleaning up the mess destroyed any evidence that could have linked anyone to a crime.
So only one exploded?
Yeah.
And then they just dismantled
They just said,
others?
fuck the whole thing, yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool, I guess.
I enjoy that. The evidence was destroyed, and no one really looked for the guy who did this. So the answer is, we don't know, and apparently no one cares. I'd like to buy him a cake. So if you blew up the Georgia Guidestones, a dude or a lady or a theydy, you can message me. I won't tell. I'll send you a cake.
You're a hero.
For real, then blow up the racist rocks.
Yeah, blow up the
Although
fucking racist rock.
you and I both know, because it was like it was like some lady conservative in Georgia who was like, these are Satan rocks and we should destroy them.
You think it's an inside job?
Yeah, because fucking the right wing people are dumb.
They do eventually eat each other. In fact, I think that they're
currently eating each other right now.
It's like Proud Boys fighting some other.
Well,
Nazi
QAnon
group.
got on about the Georgia Guidestones, so I think it was a Q head.
Oh God,
who did it? I know, and I can't. I'll still bake you a cake, but I'm gonna poop in it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So no one's gonna tell me now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I'm glad that those dumb rocks were exploded regardless. There was talk to rebuild them, but so far they haven't, and I hope they don't. And if they do, I hope someone cool blows them up again. So is there a conspiracy here? I mean, kinda, but it's only about the identity of the dude who built them. If they're not like saying the world's gonna end, there's not saying like it's, I don't know. It's not like the Denver airport, which we will cover, by the way.
It is weird. Every time I ever hear about it, it's weird.
Do you know that the giant laser-eyed horse in front of the Denver airport killed the guy who created it?
Yeah, I knew that because it was
him.
an artist. It was an artist thing.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's a bunch of pretentious weirdo art installations and doesn't mean anything. But who knows?
I don't know.
We can believe for fun.
Yeah, and I think they changed one of the murals, but I'm not totally sure on that.
But I remember as a kid listening to Coast and hearing about these stones and getting kind of scared. You know, I was like, what if they are predicting the end of the world?
Yeah.
No, they're just racist rocks.
Right.
And ableist rocks.
Yeah.
And all the dudes they believe in that were involved in this, all of them had multiple children.
Yeah, of course.
All these people who promote eugenics and population control have like 3 to 5 kids.
Yeah.
And it's because, here's the deal.
Well, they're also the same chuckleheads that don't believe in contraceptive and like abortion and stuff. So it makes no sense.
Well, they do, but not for them, for
But
us.
it just makes no sense though. Like if you need to limit the amount of kids, why do you?
Like Rockefeller was a eugenicist, and he had a bunch of kids. He made all his money with oil, even though he said we needed to not use fossil fuels. And he called for like basically genocide of most of the world's population, even though he's just pumping them kids out like crazy. Yeah. But that's only for the poors, y'all. That's what we got to stop with, like worshiping rich people. Like Elon Musk.
Did you know that the quote-unquote cage match is supposed to happen in the actual Coliseum?
This is how I know that the world ended in 2012 and I'm in hell, because this is absurd. This is the bad place.
Yes. I wasn't, looking for that news story. I just, passed
it. It popped up and I went, this is a joke. I thought it was The Onion, and then it wasn't. The Onion should just close down. It doesn't need to make parody satire, articles anymore.
Right.
Because the Earth's jumped the shark and the writers are just done.
Yeah.
They're just pulling ideas out of a hat, or they're using those poetry kit magnets to just do the season of Earth.
Yeah. I can see it.
I don't know what's going on, and I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to make my silly little podcast. I'm going to eat an ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get zooted and go to bed.
Yeah, sounds good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, Zuckerberg and the Musk can... my money's on Zuckerberg. And I'll tell you why. He's a little bit younger. Yeah. He's definitely in way better physical shape.
I think he's been working
Musk.
on this forever.
I do. I think this is his dream.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame him. It's a good dream.
He's mostly robot parts now anyway.
Mm-hmm. He's a cyborg. He's
definitely. He is weird. Would you quit throwing your Morrowind references into this?
No,
people don't
they're
play
Easter
the Elder
eggs
Scrolls.
for the one guy who gets it.
And he points and he's like, "Whoa,
yes.
Elder Scrolls!"
I'm a fan of him. Yeah.
Anyway, my money is on the Zuck, and I want him to say, as he's standing over Musk's broken body, I want him to say, "Get Zucked," and then just end him.
Yeah. So he does have a finishing move.
Yeah, and then lions come out and eat them both.
I'm sure that the other guy is gonna have some kind of tech bro laser things like
drones descend from space.
I see him sitting in a mech like Dr. Wily or something.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
is that a Sonic?
No, it's Mega Man.
Mega Man, yeah. I forget. Dr. Robotnik is from Sonic.
Right. I didn't play that when I was a kid.
I did. Oh, that's because you were a loser. So
I know.
But I don't want to watch it, but I might have to. I think it's going to be really cringy and embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I think Zuckerberg is really excited.
Unless they make me pay, then I ain't watching it.
No, they don't get it. They already get my money. They don't need to get any more of it.
They're going to make everyone pay.
Well, you know what? I'll pirate it like I do everything else.
Yeah.
Come at me, FBI. Please don't.
Shout out to the FBI guys that listen to this.
Are the agents that are spying on us are just shaking their heads and be like, these guys are stupid?
The men's in black that listen, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they can. You know what they can do?
What?
Either come and help me out or just fuck off.
No, they just watching.
Well, that's gross.
Yeah.
I don't do anything that interesting.
No.
I made a picture frame out of twigs today.
That's interesting. I mean, somebody's gonna want to watch that. I think you filmed it, didn't you, or no?
Guess what?
Yeah.
Hey, teabags, I'm on TikTok.
You have a TikTok?
A little old TikTok, yeah.
Holy crap.
Would you guys follow me on TikTok and watch me make art stuff so I don't feel like a loser? I'm trying real hard.
Yeah.
I just want to make art and have people like it. That's all. Yeah, I'll link my TikTok.
Okay.
I feel like a fucking idiot. But please come to observe my TikTok.
Yeah.
Yay.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Also, I'm doing tarot readings. I'm a little behind right now, but I'll be caught up by the time you hear this. And if you would like a tarot reading, please reach out. I would love to do one for you. I have great fun doing them. Everybody likes the readings I give them. I've been practicing tarot for over 20 years. Wow. And you can attest to my accuracy.
Yeah, you did one for me, and it was, I wanted to punch the cards.
You cannot punch the cards.
I did not get the tower card. The worst card is not the devil card. It's the fucking tower card. I didn't
It's always
get
the
it,
tower
though,
card.
I'm just letting everybody know, because they think the death card or the devil card.
You got the Seven of Swords, and that one is like, why are you hurting yourself, my friend?
All the swords are guys stabbing themselves, and that's not any good.
Well, they definitely, not always. They can be good. No, usually that
They're
suit is
stabbing
bad.
themselves every time in the tarot cards.
Merris doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyway, you can get a star chart from Merris. Would you explain what that is, please?
Sure. So I am an artiste, and when I say artist, I mean actual paintings like oil and watercolor. I primarily work in watercolor, and I like to make maps, like fantasy maps and things like that. So what I started to do is I started to illustrate like a natal chart, and what that is a sort of a snapshot of the sky at the exact moment and time of your birth. So I draw out the constellations and planets accurately, And I charge, like, what do I charge?
50.
About 50
for an 8
bucks.
by 10.
And for an original piece of art made by my hands, not by an AI.
That is correct. And in addition, it cannot just be a birthday, but it could be your wedding day. It
Anything
could be the
that's a
day
date.
you met your love of your life. It could be the death anniversary of someone.
The day that the Simpsons it premiered.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Any special day to you, Merris can illustrate it. I have one. It's one of my prized possessions. He does it in this kind of old world style. They're very beautiful, and I recommend them.
I'm on the Instagrams.
Merris is on the Instagram, which you can find in a link tree. Both of our Instagrams are on there. Please follow me. I like it when you do. So, now I'm going to talk about our Patreon really quick, and then I will let you leave. I mean, you can click away anytime, but it'd be nice if you didn't.
Right.
I try real hard on this business time portion to not be annoying. So our Patreon's really cool. You get an extra episode every week that's exclusive content. And this week we're going to be doing I'm trying to remember. My brain is just soup. We're going to be doing the last known victims, like of Israel Keys, other than the one I've already covered. And then I will be doing a takedown of the Scott Peterson case. So recently, the Lacey Peterson case.
I've heard of it, but I'm not a true crime
Guy killed his
follower.
pregnant wife.
Okay, that's sad.
It's pretty slam dunk.
Oh dear, yeah.
He was guilty.
Oh,
He's in jail forever.
This was the 90s, because I remember it.
Yeah, it was the 2000s.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, early 2000s. I was pregnant at the time, actually, so it was very scary and sad. But he totally did it, and the prosecution proved this beyond a reasonable doubt. However, there's been a really intense social media and media campaign by Scott Peterson's family and his defense attorneys to sort of twist the narrative around to look like the prosecution were dicks. And in this case... Usually you know how I feel about, like, police and stuff.
Right.
Especially in cases like this. They really did their due diligence, and they did a fantastic job, both the prosecution and the investigators on this case.
Okay.
And so I will, point by point out all the recent narratives, like, faults.
You're going to go over
I'm going to take them down.
Wow.
Because it's fun to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because I'm disgusted by the latest, like, Lacey Peterson special I watched, like, a couple years ago. It was disgusting.
Why is everybody dicks?
Because he was trying to get out of it. He's trying to get an appeal.
I mean, just why? Just fucking do your time.
Let's be fair. Part of his conviction was the court of public opinion. Part of it. It just so happened that the court of public opinion was right. So ahead of his appeals process for a new trial, they're doing this media campaign, doing specials, interviews, all that stuff to change the narrative. So I just want to fuck that narrative. It's all lies. It's just literally all bullshit. And I'm going to link a podcast that does a really great job. I think he takes like 3 to 4 hours of breaking it down. I'm going to summarize it. And in addition to some work that I've done and a book I read. And, but this podcast is really great. If you want a really super in-depth, like, takedown, I really recommend it. And I'll link to it in this episode. But other than that, I don't have anything else.
Me neither.
I'm out of business.
That was business time, and you gave it the business.
I gave it the business.
Yeah.
That sounds dirty.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
It was all that Illuminati talk. It got me fired up.
Yeah.
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 You know, and a lot of these secret societies, they don't have enough, like, fun sex stuff. Like, they're all, like, except, like, that Eyes Wide Shut movie, which was the most boring bullshit I've ever watched.
It made me really uncomfortable. I don't even know if I got through it.
My eyes were shut because I fell asleep.
There's a podcast I listen to, like, if you want to know about the Rosicrucians, it's called Historical Blindness. It's really good.
Is it?
They cover the weirdest shit, but he does it as the most actual historically correct way. Like,
Wow, I may check that
Like, he did
out.
the Ark of the Covenant, and it was super good.
I am really horny for that one in particular.
Yeah, Historical Blindness with Nathaniel Boyd.
Did they talk about it possibly being a radio?
Yeah. He goes through all the weird stuff. And it's a little bit dry, but, like, it's very historical.
I can handle dry.
Yeah.
I can handle dry.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'll fall asleep, but I
shout
can
out to
handle
that podcast who's probably never heard of us.
Yeah, they're not listening to this. What's up? But anyway, I also wanted to take a little moment to thank everyone for being so kind to me and sending me nice messages. They were concerned I had exploded. I did not. Just flopped around a little bit, but I am fine now. The heat.
It just happens. You have temporal lobe epilepsy.
It's going to happen sometimes, and I'm fine. I just had to rest. It really takes it out of me.
Yeah.
up to 48 hours. I have to like lay down
Yeah.
and not do much. And I can't think straight either. That's my biggest problem is I just have brain fog so bad.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate you all being patient and being nice. And I just want to say I love you in a creepy way like I just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now we're going to go.
Bye.
Goodbye. Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Lillian.